All right, welcome to the Airiam Podcast. This podcast covers topics related to cyber and human resilience. The content's geared towards owners and CEOs of small to medium-sized companies, as well as other IT and cybersecurity leaders. My name is Bill Bowman. I'm the marketing director at Airiam, and my co-host on the podcast is Airiam CEO Conor Quinlan. Conor, how are you doing today?
Outstanding, Bill. Caffeinated as always and excited to talk with our guest, Alex.
Good to have that caffeine. Caffeine's very important. So we're very excited to welcome Alex Zelenskiy to the podcast. Alex is a service delivery admin at Airiam, and he has a really incredible story to share.
Okay, I was born in in Kyiv and been living all this time. I just moved here like 5 days ago to Canada. I was always interested in technologies, started from, small MS-DOS and everything else. It was like a separate queue because I actually graduated in the University of Construction and Architecture, but because IT was my passion.
Talking about your background in Ukraine and your history, was there a moment or a certain thing that inspired you to get involved in IT and technology, or was it kind of just always, underlying of
No, I grew up in the poor family, and my neighbor had the PC, so he was playing the games more, but I was
PC games, gotta love them.
yeah, and I'm more interesting was how it works. So his PC was the way he broke, for example, Windows. I was trying to help him and figure out how to make it work again. So that was like a training. Then I started to doing this for my friends, schoolmates and everything else. So it was like more, and I never had a passion to play. I have a passion to understand,
understand how it all works, how to fix it.
Speed up, especially, PCs were slow. There are like tricks when you can do things that you speed up the PC so it works better. Even like old PC, you can install Windows 98, it was Windows Millennium, then XP, so it was always fun. And then at school already we had a network, so I've been like the guy who managed the network at school. Then in university is the same thing, so I've been managing it like
now did you always, as the network administrator at school, were you always a good network administrator, or did you take advantage of your power?
No, I was always good. I'm always good. I mean,
I think one other question that Bill and I were sort of wondering out is just, when did you realize the severity of the situation? Like, I know in Ukraine, like you and I've talked a little bit about this before, when I first came into Airiam, but just sort of, if you could share with people sort of just what that was like, sort of.
So first of all, I've been thinking about immigration for years. Then when all this happened, so, it was on news like 2 months, they've been showing that it will happen. Like when you hear 2 months in a row that it will happen, you already like used to it. Like people now are used to the bombing and there's alarms each day. So they just leave it. So, but yeah, it was like I got up because I planned to go with my friend on 24th with my friend to go to the western part of Ukraine.
So February 24th, right?
Yeah,
this year.
24th. Yes. Yeah. We plan to go to see, maybe find the apartments to live just for safe. And he called me and said and he's in Kharkiv. I'm in Ukraine. I'm born and living in Ukraine, in Kyiv. He told me like it happens, so we just got up from the shooting, like a bombing sounds. So and I saw, I opened the window and I saw there is like a huge number of cars in the streets, and there is and they are all leaving the city. So I'm living nearby there, one of the big exits from the Kyiv. So I've been trying to do some arrangement, buy the tickets, see the options, because I do not have a car, and most of my friends also do not have. So I bought the tickets. It was also not easy because everything stopped working. So internet, banking system. So it was hard, but finally, like
Wow.
after like, because a lot of people pushed, and actually we bought the ticket on the next day, and it gives us time to actually finalize and pack almost like what we needed. And I came in to the uh, train station, and a lot of crowd people, and if you know that this Indian movies where the people like packed to the train, that's how it
Yeah.
Very
looks like.
packed.
So yeah, so it was like, and it was emergency train, so they took anyone who wanted to go, so you don't need two tickets, but because we had the tickets, we were able to seat.
You've been through so much this year, 2022, quite impressive, quite sad also. But do you have any advice for other people that are going through adversity? Probably not many people are going through as much adversity of you and your country people have gone through. What would you tell someone who's going through some tough times and is needs to get back in it?
I almost say like, I mean, we prepare always for that nothing happens, but unfortunately, how to say, in the bad things happen, and you never stop. That's the main thing. You have the motivation. Some people have motivation, to uh, earn some money. Some people have motivation, to grow the kids. Some people have motivation from other things. But you need to motivate yourself, move forward, because you cannot change some things in the past, but you can change many things in the future, right? So that's the thing. You need just move forward to your dream or whatever, and think that if you're working hard and believe what you do, you will be successful. That's my point.
Yeah, very well said. Very well said.
So do you have any other sort of, hopes for your future, for your family, for your country? I mean, I think for Ukraine, I think just sort of other thoughts.
Oh, I believe Ukraine will be, very successful country. There are like a lot of people, hard workers, a lot of people who can do a lot of things. Unfortunately, the problem is that, first of all, a lot of small, let's say, kids and families moved, and they may not move back. That's one thing. Second thing, we need to restore a lot of things. That's also a lot of money and a lot of work. And again, it's not something that we cannot pass, and we just need to do those things. But again, my second passion, like, as what I do at the hobby, is the puzzles. So I like the different things, and so I assume that our country is like a project as a puzzle, that we need to put right people to the right places, and they will make this happen. And again, I'm wishing anyone to do not feel that I've been feeling all this time, but you cannot be prepared for those things, that's for sure. But I think example for our country, when everybody united and world united, and like everybody started helping, is a good example that you are not alone. If you need help, you can ask for help, and there are always people who can help, advise, give a hand, and you just need to knock the door. If you do this, everything will be okay.
So, Alex, where can people go to support the cause of Ukraine and help out your friends and family that are still there and those that have left the country?
My friend has this organization, volunteer organization. You can like go, and the good thing that you not only send money, you have see that actually what they like trying to get money for, and you will get the feedback results. You can watch, there is like a report, so each money spent with all the checks, whatever, receipts, and like happy people pictures and everything else. There is United platform, United 24, made by our president, and there are like few other things like sites you can connect with, platforms that made like by our government, that actually anyone can be the part of, like, to join it. So I provide the links for you, and you can whatever. I'm personally do not need anything. I'm also like helping other people too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well, Alex and Conor, and thank you so much for your time. I think you shared a lot of great advice, and your story hopefully will inspire others just to keep the perseverance going, keep going, don't give up, and help other people, right? And that's really what it's all about. So I want to thank everyone for listening. This was the Airiam Podcast. New episodes will be typically released every other Wednesday. And for more information on Airiam, you can visit airiam.com. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care.